American Top Team in South Florida. They just keep cranking out outstanding talent after outstanding talent after outstanding talent in South Florida, in Coconut Creek. And Cody Law will be part of Bellator 289 on December 9th. He is 6-1, and he's going up against Cris Lencioni. And this will be your first fight now since your last fight, which was your first loss. So basically, the first thing we'll talk about is just dealing with the first loss, putting it behind you, and now getting ready for this fight.
Yeah, what about it?
How do you do that? What has been the mindset for you? I know you're a thinking man's fighter, so what's just been the mindset for you as far as after that first loss, and then did you watch the fight again afterwards, learn something from it, and then putting it behind you, getting ready for this one?
Yeah, I think the idea has been take every ounce out of the loss and learn from it as much as I can, and ideally be a much improved version of myself in this fight because of that loss. A lot of people, you have two choices: you can let a loss break you or let a loss make you, and I'm planning on letting it make me a whole lot better for this fight.
How have you been preparing and training for this one? Has it been business as usual? Have you mixed it up a little bit? You don't have to go through the whole game plan or anything like that, but just curious as how you're taking it from a training standpoint.
Yeah, I've changed a lot. I sparred a lot harder for this fight. I think that has been the biggest emphasis for my last fight and previous fights, but I overwhelmingly towards the end fell into a pattern of sparring cordially, I think, where there's a lot of respect. I'm going with guys that are really good that I respect, and it's kind of a you go, I go, we're not going to hurt each other. And I just am too early in my career to do that right now, where I'm going with veterans who can do that. I only have 6 fights leading into my last fight. I need to fight every day. I need to have a lot of experience. So for this camp, I spent a lot of time, more than normal, sparring real intensely with some wild guys. Scenarios where I could get hurt, and being really, really turned on for 4 rounds at a pop, sometimes 5. And it's made a difference because now when I go 3 rounds, I feel a whole lot better. And I think it's gonna show in 2 weeks.
Cody, from a standpoint of those first 6 fights were all victories.
Yeah.
And then you had 1 defeat, and now you're coming back, and now you're going to the next fight and all. Is this just all part of athletics in general? Just dealing with the ups and the downs? And what was it like for you those first 6 fights? Because they're all wins. Yeah. And now you have a setback. I'm thinking, from my standpoint, I'm thinking the loss is not good, but it's also beneficial to you because now you know how you're dealing with all that. Or am I going too far with it?
Yeah, there's 2 sides to the coin, right? I mean, in one sense, that was the first time I've lost at anything competition-wise in 5 years. My last loss was in college wrestling in 2017. So I got pretty used to winning, and that was tough. That hurt, But I'm also used to losing. I've been the loser for the majority of my career in wrestling. When I first started, the first, I don't know how many years, I was always losing, always coming up short. I'm very, very familiar with being in that came up short, disappointed phase of your life and rebounding. My biggest accomplishments in wrestling were off of losing, just coming short the year before. Losing in the state finals my junior year, winning my senior year. Losing in nationals my junior year, winning my senior year. So this is just, it feels like, okay, now it's my time to have that big moment. So I'm used to this. But right now I want to win more than I've ever wanted to win because I hate losing so bad. Not losing for 5 years, losing like that. This is the most I've ever wanted to win. It feels like, at least. Maybe that's not the case, but I feel like it's not even a want, it's a need.
Cody, as a fighter and as an athlete, and just going through this whole process, let's say with Bellator, what has this journey been like so far for you?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it. Right now, I've just been so focused on this fight that I'm not thinking about anything else. It's all in on this fight. So I haven't looked back too much because that stuff doesn't.
But you don't like to look back. I know you don't like to look back.
I'm a nostalgic person. I like to think back to the past, and I like to go back through and think what was working, what was good, what was bad. But right now, if I look back, I'm looking back and going, okay, what was going good and what was going bad. But I'm not looking back and being like, oh yeah, I won those 6 fights. the 6 fights don't mean anything to me right now. This one is the only one that means anything to me right now.
When you're getting ready for this fight on December 9th, Bellator 289, there's also Danny Sabatello, and you also have Dalton Rasta,
Yeah.
and I think you have 4 fighters from American Top Team possibly going to the...
Yeah, Mike Lombardo.
There you go. So we're going up there and all. From a team, I know it's individual sport. I've asked the others this too, but what is it like having, like, it's almost like American Top Team taking over. And you've been on cards here, even here, down here, when Bellator's come down here, with several guys on the card from American Top Team and all. Just what does that say about American Top Team and their involvement with Bellator?
I don't know what it says because it's all I know, right? It's just kind of the norm for me. I think I've maybe only had one fight where there was no other ATT guys. So this is just kind of normal for me. I'm used to this because college wrestling, it just feels like I'm on another wrestling team.
Where do you think a victory gets you? Or do you not even look that far ahead?
7-1 is what it gets me. And that's what I feel like I am today, 7-1.
And Cody, do we know yet who will be in your corner for this one?
Yeah, I have Mike Brown, Philip Amaris, and Isaac Greeley. It's been my combo for a few fights. Those two, Isaac and Philip, are from Pittsburgh. They're my Pittsburgh coaches. Yeah.
Yeah, I met them. I met them at the local fight here when the guys were Bellator Fort Lauderdale and all. Yeah, I remember.
Good guys.
Yeah, they're really good guys, and 2 excellent people to have in your corner as well, with the great Mike Brown and all. So
it's the most composed, calm corner I think that I could have in MMA.
And you're such a cool, calm, and collected person too. It just works out with you guys.
It's perfect energy, you know. I just feel like I don't even have to talk to them. You know, I can just give a look, do one of those. Yeah, we understand what we're thinking and go get it done.
Cody, and I also getting ready for this fight, and we addressed it a little bit, but I'm curious. Cody Law, his first MMA fight, compared to Cody Law now, is there much of a difference?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's all experience. That's why I think I lost the last one. Well, other reasons too, but every one of them, it's about experience right now. I really believe I have all the skills to be world champion today, but it's experience that matters. It's those little gaps that shine the brightest, I think. And that's what I need to keep covering. That's why I need to keep fighting often. I need to be getting fights in the gym. It can't be cordial. It has to be real fights where I can make that experience jump.
It's interesting because you mentioned about winning a state championship, winning a national championship, the junior senior year, and we talked about the victories and we talk about the setback and the defeat. And it's curious to me, when you were getting ready for that next fight, when you're fighting those 7 fights going into this fight now, did you find yourself watching the loss more than you watched the victories when you were watching the fights back? When you were watching the fight back to get ready for that next fight?
For this fight?
For each fight. I don't know how far you could...
Oh, for wrestling you mean?
No. I'm talking about all your MMA fights.
This is my first loss.
This is your first loss, yes, and you had those victories.
Yeah.
I'm curious, when you had your first fight and you won, you watch it back. You had your second fight, you won, each fight, you watch back. You watch back each fight.
Yeah.
Did you think you found yourself watching the loss more back to get ready for your fight than the wins, or no, about the same, or don't even know?
So you're saying right now, would I find myself watching my loss, that last loss, more often than I would find myself watching my previous wins?
When you were getting ready for the next fight, sorry to confuse you, to do the confusion on this, but
this is the only time I've had a loss.
Correct.
So the previous fights I couldn't have looked back on a loss.
No. I understand that part of it.
Yeah.
All right, you had fight 1.
Yeah.
You got to win.
Yeah.
Now you're getting ready for fight 2.
Yeah.
You're going to watch fight 1.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, do you watch each fight when you're getting ready for that next fight, win or lose?
Yeah.
Did you watch the loss more than you watch those wins? Or no, it's about the same for each one?
I probably watch the wins more than I watch the loss, because the loss is kind of I've watched it, I know, and we've gone through it so many times, that at this point it's just watching it is just reminding myself of bad feelings, you know, where right now I'm in that place where I like a positive mindset. I know what I did wrong, and we've gone through it so much, and I still have to think about it. That's enough for me right now.
Well, Cody, watching you progress, it's just, you're like a cerebral assassin is the way I like to claim it and all. And you're just so cool, calm, and collective, like I said. Wish you all the best, Bellator 289, to get that victory and then just keep moving forward, and thank you.
appreciate it, Jim. Thank you.